Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get your skate every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. It is a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Today is the last day, the beginning of my 40s. This is going to be my final year.
This is it.
Yeah.
49. The year of 49.
Yeah.
The next year will be the big 5-0.
That's right. It's going to be a big one.
It feels weird to say that. Because I always thought 50 was so old.
Yeah.
Well, let's not turn this into fucking
Here she
doom
goes.
and gloom. I was about to get like 49. Let's get my 49 some 69. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah,
let's, let's turn this party up. Let's not turn it down. Talk about death and old and fucking old bones.
Speaking of old bones, when y'all are 69, who's on top and who's on bottom?
Look, I'm a person that I'll do whatever you're into. If you want me on top, I'll 69 with you on top. If you want me on the bottom, whatever you're into.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's whatever. He can flip it around. He can be a 6 or a 9.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter.
I could be a 96 if you want.
Damn.
Yeah.
Your vanilla ass would go nowhere near it.
What's that one, like upside down from the roof? I don't know. It seems a little above my pay grade as far as acrobatics.
I would love it if Kevin came in tomorrow and go, you're not going to fucking believe it. I was 69 last night. Look, yes.
Me and the
Yeah.
Kim 69.
Me and the
Wouldn't that be
Queen.
something, huh?
Yes, it'd be great.
Make you happy, huh?
It would.
Okay. We'll see. Maybe we can get that done.
Yeah, tell her that's all you want for your birthday. Tell her in front of the kids.
That's all I want, huh?
I like Kevin. Let's see if I can get that. Let's move along. Let's move along.
Somebody just texted in and said, yeah, it is kind of odd. It seems as you get older, life goes by faster.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah, there is actually a biological reasoning for that. It has to do with how you snapshot in your memory light and how the memories are formed, because it's like you create a lifetime of memories, up until the age of 13 or 14, something like that. And then it just seems to start getting faster. And then your 30s is a blur. And now I look at my 40s, I'm like, gosh, what just, gone. And it has to do with how your mind is capturing those images. And so it does. It makes life seem like it goes faster.
It's an odd time, too, I think, when you get to the middle of your life. You were nailing it earlier. You're not old enough to want to get out of the game. You still want to get shit done in your life, but you also realize that you're not a little kid anymore. Mm-hmm. It's an odd perspective to go through. I think that's why so many people are fucked.
Yeah.
In the head, in the middle of their life.
Yeah.
It really is kind of a sobering feeling. It's odd.
You do. You always, at every age, you got to come to grips with something else. I mean, when you're young, you got to come to grips with, like, what the hell's going on in this crazy world? But
That's an offensive word, too, by the way. Sobering. How dare you?
I am sorry, you drunken lush. I apologize. Kev, get turned. I don't want to tell you.
yeah. Yeah, but every year you just got to deal with something new and something different. That's life. And you may say it's the downside or it's the excitement of life. Always just kind of readjusting and whatever skin you're in, getting used to it.
It's all your perspective.
Yeah.
I think there's times where, the older you get, which is the freeing part, is you don't give a fuck about as much stuff as when you did. And I'm talking more about the insecurities, you've been to the puppet show, you've seen the strings, and a lot of it doesn't matter. And I mean that as a positive thing.
Yeah, and I got to say, honestly, probably every single year for anybody who's way behind me is every year has really felt like it's gotten better. It's not like, it's all downhill. And
Agreed.
I knew some people I went to high school with, and I think they peaked at 16 or 17, and now it's just their life seems to be miserable. For me, it's all good. Let's see what this year's got to bring, and every year I'm like, man, I feel like I'm enjoying life more and more.
Well, 49 is not old anymore. It's not an old.
Yeah.
In today's day and age, it's not. shit, 49 is.
Just call up Hair Club and make it good.
You're in your prime. Who's ever doing your hair right now? They are in the fucking zone.
Yeah, Hair Club is. Yeah, they're just crushing it. So there's so much you can do, and people don't even know how old you are. They look at you like, well, I have no clue.
You're a man of mystery.
That's
over
right.
there.
It's tougher to guess that age. Never know what it is. People
They
got
say
so
you're
many
older than
ways
Kevin, right? I go, no, I'm 5 years younger than
Well, that just ain't.
But people are dicks, Kevin.
Yeah, I know. They always got something to say. So, yeah. All right, let's see here. We got some emails to get to here today that people sent in. Mail at kvjshow.com. Alyssa had sent this in. She said, I wanted to reach out and express concern for how Amber Heard is discussed. She's been diagnosed publicly with histrionic personality disorder and borderline personality disorder. Calling her names like crazy, psychotic nuts is tough to hear when you're discussing someone with diagnosed mental illnesses. Her dramatic flair and need for attention, as well as staying and loving an abuser, is part of these disorders. I would just caution and ask for kinder words so others with the same or other mental disorders don't have to hear those terms being used when describing. I know it's tough to adjust, but I always advocate for compassion and empathy for those with personality disorders, as they are usually correlated with a history of trauma. Thanks for reading. Always do like to lead with empathy and learn and understanding. You know, people who are going through things is very important. We're always about that here and changing things up and learning about it. I know she's kind of the resident expert on that. I will say, though, that I had heard that, and I was, when she had the words crazy, psychotic nuts, I thought that seemed very aggressive and was a little disturbed with that. So I did go back and listen to the segment 2 times, and just for the record, the words crazy, psychotic, and nuts was not used in the discussion at all.
Oh, is she talking about a discussion we had?
I believe so. I would assume that was it. Express concern for how Amber Heard is discussed. Okay, maybe it's just in general. So I just wanted to say for us, I always want to make sure that we're making the right kind of commentary about things and are not unnecessarily harsh on somebody that doesn't deserve it.
It's just hard. It's hard for us, and I think it's hard for a lot of people because they saw her trying to destroy Johnny, and people honestly just didn't believe what she said.
Yeah, to be quite honest with you, I say a lot of shit that I regret, but I feel good on how I've handled the Amber Heard stuff. I haven't.
And maybe it's just a note to people in general who don't fully understand what she is going through. And some of the things we were talking about, like yesterday, the conversation had come up where she was in a TJ Maxx and TMZ was all over, and it just seemed like there was a lot of, hey, look at me, and there was a lot of staging that had gone on, and that was the commentary from one of the jurors that they had said that they believe she was acting through the whole thing. And to Alyssa's point, the borderline personality disorder, it impacts the way you think and feel about yourself and others. And it says there's self-image issues, including difficulty managing emotions and behavior and a pattern of unstable relationships. And it almost has a look at me kind of part to it. So these things that you were thinking about Amber Heard watching the trial, and now you're probably going to see a little bit of this because I think she's not getting the reaction she wants from people, and it seems to probably be driving her more into her disorders. And you're going to probably start to continue to see more of that and realize maybe she can't really even help herself.
You also have to understand, too, is when anybody goes in the public eye, especially when they're putting everything out there, and they're going to get hate. And you're never going to eliminate the hate. People are going to say horrible, terrible, fucking awful. They're going to tell you to do terrible things to yourself. It's just, that's the way the world is. And you're never going to ever completely eliminate that.
Yeah.
So people are going to discuss it how they want to discuss it. You know what I mean?
And one of the conditions of the histrionic personality disorder that Alyssa was talking about is an overwhelming desire to be noticed. Doesn't that sound familiar?
It's tough for me to get sympathy with that. I just, like I've said before, and I've brought in a little personal baggage. I dated someone that she reminds me of. And so for me, I see what she's doing. It reminds me a lot of what that person did. And that person did cause a lot of damage. And when they would cause damage, then they would then play the victim. And that doesn't jive with me personally.
Yeah.
I know a guy, not you, another close male friend of mine that dated and almost married a girl that has borderline personality disorder. And it's pretty scary how they try to destroy their partner's life. It's one thing if you feel bad and you negatively have an impression of yourself and you have low self-esteem and you have all these things where, you know, it's about you. When you try to turn it and destroy another person's career, you try to destroy another person financially, which is what this girl that was dating my friend tried to do. Like, it's hard for me to have sympathy for that person, and I understand it's a disorder that they can't help, but I don't have sympathy for you because you tried to destroy a person financially, emotionally, professionally.
Yeah, right.
You went around town. This happened to my friend. She went around town and told all kinds of people that he did business with, that he abused her, that he was this, that he was that, all these things that she made up in her head. It's so strikingly similar to what my friend went through, so it's hard for me to remain objective.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people have mental issues. Look, I can speak up. My family has them. I have them. It doesn't give you an excuse to act a fucking fool and act all crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it doesn't give you an excuse to do that. And
it doesn't give you an excuse.
You should be allowed to call that out without feeling bad about that.
You can't just take people down because you have borderline personality disorder.
Right, and I think that's really where in society now you have to say, okay, well, where do we give excuses and what is excusable based on conditions that you might have or have been diagnosed with?
This is why this is a tough conversation, because when you're talking about mental health, you're talking about all that kind of stuff. Look, it's a battle that it can be tough because people sometimes can use it as a crutch to get away with things. And then there's times when you really need some help. I've just seen it go both ways, and it's tough to deal with.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I seem to have seen or observed is you do have to have maybe a heightened awareness, at least I do in my own mind, of calling people crazy. And I think that's one thing that you may go, oh, that's a crazy bitch, or she's crazy, or whatever. And that seems to be where people don't like that, and that ruffles people. Now, maybe you could say something they're doing seems crazy, and if we get to that point, I don't know how to describe things.
I mean, so every time I want to call Virginia crazy, I have to think about, oh boy, someone out there who's crazy is going to get offended. No, fuck that. Hey,
I like when you call me crazy.
Well, that's just it. I am legit crazy.
I do crazy shit.
Like, I've had doctors say, yeah, you're a little off, man. You have to think about every little word, and you're going to offend everybody. And oh my gosh, you can never make fun of. You can't call Kevin this because someone's going to feel. It gets to a point where I don't know.
That's
I'm
where
a sensitive bitch.
I know, and I think that's really where we are. I mean, reading that, I'm like, okay, you just for me personally, I'm like, you got to have a heightened sense when you discuss this because. I wasn't aware with everything that she had been diagnosed with. After reading what she had been diagnosed with and seeing the conditions, Amber Heard's behavior does seem to exhibit the histrionic personality disorder. Somebody has an overwhelming desire to be noticed.
And my condition, which makes me a little fucked up, calls her an asshole. So what's, you can have sympathy for me too, for my condition. Like, that's my point. We all got these little things that are fucked up. And if you really break it down, all you're going to be doing is chasing a tail around going, well, you called me crazy? Well, Kevin said this that one time. He called me fat.
Yeah, it's a way to shut somebody down really quickly because if somebody does charge at you and say something to you, if you can counter with, well, that's where it's put your foot in your mouth and that shuts down all argument. If you have something that's like, you can't say anything to me because I have or I am.
It's universal. Everyone stop acting crazy. It's just one of those things where every human being acts crazy at some point in their life. That is a universal experience where we all get a little fucking nuts.
And I would think that you should be able to still describe behavior as being that's crazy, and maybe where the sensitivity is you have to sometimes consider if you just flippantly call someone crazy, now that's like, hey, you're coming down on somebody that could have a mental illness.
If you go and try to get someone fired and go, this person is crazy, blah, blah, blah. But if you're in a conversation and you're just talking and you go, oh, Virginia's acting crazy.
Chances are she was.
Yeah.
And she's doing it on purpose.
I think that should still be in bounds. Say, they are acting crazy. This is insane. I think you should still be able to say that.
I know if I can just tell I'm aging out of Earth. I can just tell that I am. That whole old thing you're talking about, it's happening.
Trying to stay up on what is and what is not acceptable and what you say about people. And as you get older, too, because you grew up with, the longer you're on this planet, the longer you've been calling things in certain ways. And so if you've been on this planet for 48 years like me, for 48 years, maybe I've always called people
49.
crazy. Well, I haven't gone through the year yet. 48, I'm done. So for 48 years, you call people crazy, and now you're like, oh, shit, I can't say that. I shouldn't say that because I could be somebody, and they are crazy. And then you've just called out somebody with a mental disorder, and now you're a complete asshole. And that's the thing that you're always trying to readjust and be like, gosh, just give me patience because you got to undo 48 years of doing it one way. So I think that's what the email's all about. I always do like to give thought to things.
I think we as a species need to lighten up a little bit. But you'll get another 9-page manifest. Real fucking easy for you to say to lighten up, Bird.
We do.
Blah, blah, blah.
We
blah.
do. It's a dance.
Collectively.
It's a dance. I mean, some of it is lightening up and saying, all right, guys, I mean, is that really something? And then other times it is saying, okay, maybe this realistically needs to be considered.
Now, if you're raising your kid going, you crazy fuck, get to your room, that's wrong. It's terrible to do.
Let me scratch that off of things I'm going to say today.
Yeah, if you really make believes, trying to make someone believe that they're crazy, but you know what I'm trying to defend over here. I'm just trying to defend casual conversation when you're describing something, a pop culture story.
Yeah.
That they kind of put out there.
They
in
put
the
it
public,
out.
You know what I mean? And then now we have to watch what you're going to put the circus in front of me and then claim to be victim and say all this other crazy shit that I saw and heard, and now I have to keep quiet and then cater to the words that you want me to say?
Right.
Fuck that noise.
Okay. All right. Well,
you'll get people that hate what I just said.
Sure.
But, I mean, the world will still go on. You know what I mean? We'll all still get up tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was just one email. Thank you for that. I gave you a lot of discussion there. Yeah.
Will someone please unplug him? He's just going.
Yeah.
Going.
Well, I'm so okay. You know, I'll shut the fuck up and be passionless. Let's read a dirt story.
Oh, I don't know. Those got you pretty fired up today.
Well, would you rather have me boring and not say anything? This is the Italian in me. We get a little passionate about shit.
Yeah. All right, well, if you love that, wait till you see what else we got coming up here with our emails.
Bird's getting called out again.
You'll turn up the pissy.
Okay, got one here from Josh. This email is about drink and pee. Yay. Okay. Josh says there was some good talk on the Friday ATS about drink and pee and how that hooker Virginia always weasels her way out of the worst punishments. For the drinking pee punishment, why did Bird, Denny's, and Kev have to drink pee? Jay Bird lost when he had to list 10 pizza toppings, and he listed all the ones. He talks about beans and vegetables, all that stuff. Even if you take the fish and vegetables off the list, Bird still got 10 toppings. People always call us on this. You know, did we score it right or not? And that is the tough thing. Apparently, he thinks that you should have gotten the point and shouldn't have had the punishment. And he said also, just to let you know, the life straw does not make pee safe to drink. It can rid pee of microbes and bacteria. It does not remove salt and other dissolved solids, which pee can have in large amounts. Yeah, I don't know that you want to.
It was a little salty.
Yeah, it was.
They didn't think it was going to be completely safe either. I mean,
No.
when you're drinking your own urine, you understand there's a risk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It really sucks.
You bought that thing off the internet. You can't tell me it's completely safe.
It was like $7.
Well, I bought it off the internet when I was at a meeting at Kevin's house, and I bought it so quick, and it was the cheapest one, and not really even thinking because we were talking. I was multitasking, and then it was like, buy it now. It'll be here tomorrow. And it was the shittiest thing you could. I should have spent an extra 15.
And then you only bought one. So the first guy that pees in it, his pee goes through it. And then he passes it to the second guy. And then his pee goes through
I
it.
got picked the 2. I had to go last. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was the and then,
terrible.
And then Virginia's belittling us. This is the grossest shit. Fuck that.
I told y'all I'm crazy.
See, she's crazy.
Yeah.
Email back and say it's cool to call her crazy.
You can call me crazy anytime because I am self-aware. I know I'm fucking nuts.
Okay, so we got a green light to call Virginia crazy.
Doesn't bother me a bit.
Angie in the chat room says, "Why are we bitching about a bit from weeks ago?" I agree. That is crazy. That's fucking crazy.
That's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Why are we holding on to that?
Okay, Tracy said, "Hey, I was listening to ATSP, and you were talking about dead people being reported. I used to be a crime scene investigator, and I can tell you that not all dead people are newsworthy. The emails that you got about them pulling the lady out of the lake off Village by the Broadstone Apartments could have been an accidental drowning, and the news just didn't get wind of it. The majority of my scenes, accidental suicides, are natural. The news never showed. If all bodies were reported to the news, then that's the only thing that would be on the news.
Body.
So many people die throughout the county every single day.
Damn.
Also, the police don't report anything to the news. I'm not sure how they actually found out what was going on. I've heard that they had scanners, but I'm not positive on that information. But people do call them when something is going on as well.
Yeah, they have like inside sources. They have scanners. I think they have everything.
Yeah. So that's why, because people are saying, I can't find anything. What happened? They pulled a woman out of the lake and there's nothing I can find on it. Well, I guess that's the answer.
On any given day, there's a lot of bodies, y'all.
Dang.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure there is a day of the year where there just are more bodies.
Halloween.
It just kind of adds up that there's that stat out there. There's got to be, right?
Yeah,
Well,
there
today's
is.
the longest day, so mathematically it should be today.
Do I want it? Is that a good point, Kevin? I'm so blurred by all of our other bullshit. I can't tell if that's a good point or not.
I don't think it's going to land. No. I don't think that one's going to land.
Crazy almost tricked you.
Look, crazy sees crazy. Game recognizes game. I know I'm fucking crazy. That's why I feel like I want to speak of crazy.
I'd love to have a crazy test. If they have that, like a psychiatrist
How crazy
comes
are
in.
you?
How fucking nuts is this person? And then they rate you on a scale of like 1 to 100.
I think out of everybody on the show, I would appear to be the craziest. It's me and Virginia neck and neck, I think.
Okay. So you would
You have
think
a
you'd
slight
score the highest.
edge.
Well, I have more, I think, external issues that she doesn't have. There's, I have bad panic, anxiety in certain areas. She doesn't have that kind of stuff. So that's going to make me appear a little bit crazier than the other person. Or if I can't drive over a bridge, I have to take the long way. She doesn't have to go through that. So when I explain that out loud, I may appear a little crazier. But I am I'm out there.
There's different levels of
There, and that's my point.
Things, yeah.
Human beings, there's a spectrum of crazy, and every one of us fuckers is on it.
And then on any given day, by extraneous forces that press down on you, you can become crazier. And really, I mean, if you're normally like 70% crazy, you can easily go to 90% crazy if something bad happens.
If I don't sleep, and I've talked about this before, it really is a big deal. And I think the older I've gotten, it's worse. If you go and string 2 to 3 days of really bad sleep, it does. It affects. You can see it, you can hear it, you can feel it in my personality.
I can't do that. I don't know how you function.
Well, I don't think I can. I think that's why I start turning crazy during that time period, because you're fucking going nuts at that point.
I can't do that.
This email here from Tiffany said, I was driving back home from Orlando and I happened to pass this boat and remembered the discussion you had from last week about what would be a good boat name for Virginia. I think this would be it. It's called Boat Talks. Botox. Boat and then ox. Botox.
You don't want that now because it'd be a hack, but that's a great name.
That is a great name.
If you're into that thing, that's your shit. It's
Totally.
good stuff.
Yeah, that could work. Also, somebody pointing out that apparently there is a thing with the Florida license plates. They have a KVJ.
Yeah,
And I've seen a lot of KVJ
that.
plates out there. Yeah.
I have too. People always send those to me, and it makes me giggle.
Yeah, Jacqueline saw that.
There's also that KVJ band from another country. I'm not gonna lie, they got way better numbers than we do.
They're really attractive.
They crush it.
They dance.
They have really good numbers.
They're very musically gifted.
Yeah, I think they're Indian, right?
They
They are.
Yeah.
I'd like to switch places for the day with the cool KVJ.
Can you go and we can get there V and see how see if she's crazy?
Bruh, blood in, blood out. If I go to India, your ass is fucking coming too.
I'm going.
Yesterday, I was wearing a new funky shirt that was chafing the nipple, and Barbara said, if y'all want to talk about clothing that scratches your nipples, I got one at Crawfish Fest in 2022, and yikes, it really ripped my breast apart. The drip, drip, drip snack pack shirt, she said.
Oh,
a nipple
damn.
scratcher.
You know, Twigs made them the night before.
Oh, okay.
That one specifically. That's the one he made. He had a bunch of shirts that he didn't think he had enough, and then he made those, which I think are cool. But
Those
yeah,
are cool.
Yeah, they look great.
They may scratch the nipples.
And was that a free shirt or did you purchase that?
Oh, that was free.
Okay, you can't bitch about a free shirt.
I mean, you can.
Even if you lose a
can.
nipple.
Yeah, put on some pasties and just be like, I got a free shirt.
Amber sent an email and heard us talking about Crocs. She said, I hated Crocs until I got horrible foot pain. And then somebody suggested I wear them. And when I did, my foot stopped hurting.
Wow.
Okay.
Look, we will crock you all night long. I love them. I love them so much they blew up.
You can also, if you don't want to completely lose all sense of fashion, you can go and buy a little foot support thing that gives you arch support in that one spot where the Croc does. And it kind of has the same effect. You can stick those in any shoe.
I took a old Croc. It was a low budget Croc. It was even low.
A Walmart
It was a
knockoff Croc.
And I took some Bigfoot stickers and wrapped them around, and it kind of was like a hodgepodge of Bigfoot stickers. It was
Okay.
not very comfortable.
Yeah.
You kind of looked homeless.
Didn't look that great. Don't know why I'm even talking about it.
It's like, what the fuck? That guy got stickers all over his low budget knockoff Crocs.
Kind of a waste of money with the stickers, but you know, I like to hear myself talk.
Another endorsement here. We were talking about wearing socks on the beach. And somebody texted in and said there are actually sand socks that are designed for the beach.
Oh.
They're a neoprene material to keep your foot cool on hot sand or warm in cold sand. I get about 2 months worth of use a year as a weekly volleyball player. So
Huh.
That's
they do have
cool.
sand socks, if you didn't know.
Has anybody ever tried to invent air conditioning shoes? That's not a bad idea. If you could get the science behind it, imagine because I suffer from hot feet sometimes.
I
You have a
think
little
they've
button.
created ones that have different ventilations and things like that to keep your feet cooler.
Oh my gosh! You
They
could,
do have that thing you can wear around your neck that has like a fan in it. I don't see why you couldn't engineer that thing to be in a shoe.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine Air Jordan getting with that.
Literally air
I
Jordan.
think I just got the idea that's gonna get us rich.
Somebody call Michael Jordan because Jay Bird just figured some shit out.
He's local. I'm local.
Let's just go to his house.
Oh my god! What am I text you guys later. You're not gonna believe it. I have a fucking meeting with Jordan later.
Shark Tank, bruh. You have 10 minutes with Jordan to convince him to buy your air shoe.
Oh my gosh! I have to write this up tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll pitch it to you guys tomorrow. See how I do. I love
All right,
it.
you pitch it to us first, and then you go knock on Michael Jordan's door.
And if it's cool with y'all, I have an assistant that's with me. You may know him. His name's Peace Train.
We've heard
Producer
of him.
Denny's. All right.
And another endorsement here. Pierina said, I heard you guys talking about the salty donut coming to West Palm, and you have to try it. We have one here in Orlando, and it's by far the best donuts I've ever had.
Wow.
Okay.
Better than Dunkin'?
Look, I only run on Dunkin'.
She didn't mention them, but she did mention Krispy Kreme and Jupiter Donuts.
Okay,
So,
Jupiter Donuts
yeah.
also bringing a fine pastry.
So I know they are getting ready to open up here before too long. In fact, over the weekend, they had a pop-up at the Square. They were offering up caramel, apple, and double chocolate cookie donuts.
Was it free or was it that cost money?
I would assume they still cost money.
Yeah.
I think a pop-up you still charge.
Them pop-ups.
I didn't know there was like sampling.
Well, That's
may
a
have
good
had
point.
some.
That's a great question, actually.
I would
Yeah.
assume they charged, but they may have had some samples.
If they're doing promotion and they're trying to get a name out somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what, I can see it being a sampler.
Well, do you go to that square a lot?
I don't know if a lot is it, but I've been there twice in probably the last 2 weeks,
Okay.
and they're doing a lot of work on it. But there's still some good functional stuff. We went in there. We went to Lululemon, and then we went to the hibachi place.
Okay.
And I was there at the theater. But they're in the process of putting up one high rise. They're going to be knocking down the theater soon. I am going to be going, I think, next week. They're opening up the El Camino. I wish they got one in Delray and one in Lauderdale, and they're going to be opening up one in the Square.
Which space again is El Camino going into?
It's where Brother Jimmy's was.
Brother Jimmy's. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they're knocking down the theater?
Theater's going to be gone. They're taking that out and the whole block.
They're putting in condos?
They're going to put in another high rise there. I think they're going to have a smaller theater, but they want 27 to 30-story buildings. It's going to be kind of modeled, like I said, it's going to be a mini Brickell. Is what they're doing there. They're going to knock down the Cheesecake Factory.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That's going to become an Apple store.
Uh-oh, you hit a nerve.
Yeah, that's gone.
This whole podcast getting all pissy today.
Cupcake cheesecake over here
Yeah.
is all pissed.
And you see it's all the finance people that are moving down from New York because the one building that they built across from the Publix, which, by the way, they're going to knock down that Publix too, and they're going to build a high rise there, and then they're going to put a Publix back on the ground floor. Oh. So they just need space. They got to start building up in West Palm. That's what they're doing. But that one building right across that Stephen Ross, the Dolphins owner, put up, the bottom floor is got a Harry's Steakhouse, and that's on Wall Street. So it's all they're transplanting a lot of the same restaurants that the New York people know. So that when they're here, they're like, I'm in Florida. Where do I go? It's like, oh, there's Harry's. I always go to Harry's. So
I agree with some people in the chat room sentiments. Jamie says, I like that theater. I like that theater too. I like that whole little area. You're going to knock down Cheesecake and build some fucking condos. Have you never seen Poltergeist? Is that really a smart move? You're going to get cursed?
Cheesecake is not an Indian burial sacred
Yeah, I
ground.
was
I'm
gonna
just
say.
saying, but it's sacred. It's sacred.
Sacred to you.
That's bad fucking karma, my friends.
The ghost of macaroni and cheese fried balls are going to haunt them?
How
Yeah.
dare they knock down? Don't say it out loud. I don't feel right.
yeah.
I don't know. I think cheesecake is outdated. I'm sorry.
And it's possible maybe they'll open up in another place there.
Don't let
Yeah.
DeQuesta fucking the biggest priss when it comes to restaurants.
Who do you see? Any new places going in, putting in decor like cheesecake? None.
Don't try to kill Cheesecake when Cheesecake.
I'm not the one knocking the frickin' building down. Take it up with the square.
Chat room, is the witch right? Is Cheesecake on its way out? Really?
Sorry, the decor, it's a little dated.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
podcast.
Yeah.
You're just mad because you love 87 different flavors of cheesecake.
I think cheesecake. Does Ralston's ever do a cheesecake factory? That's
No.
not your cup of soda, is it?
No, because I'm not. In fact, to me, a detraction of going to a place is too large of portions. Because to me, when I go out to eat, we normally just get appetizers, a few, and then we share them. Because I don't eat that much food.
You know what? Take your own advice today, Virginia. Do not read the comments. I mean, they are turning on her about that cheese factory.
Cactory. I'd like to go get some cack. Where can I go find some nice cack?
Today's one of those days where I didn't sleep a couple days in a row.
And then people are arguing about how good the salty donut is or is not. It's got hype because Thrillist named it as the best donut shop in America.
Wow.
That's bold.
Yeah.
That is so bold.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about. I haven't been to. I was going to go into Crumble because there is a Crumble right by my house.
Crumble cookies are great, and they switch it up every week. New flavors, fun excitement. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're warm, sometimes they're
I'd
not.
say it would be a cozy day. A little Olive Garden, then hit up Crumble.
Okay.
Go see a little Top Gun. Kev, you want to go with me?
You lost us at Olive Garden.
Nobody likes Olive. I'm the only fucker that likes Olive. None of my close friends like it. Every time I suggest it, they go, So what's going on over there? You changed the subject? I can't believe it.
Are there no other restaurants on North Lake?
It's tough when you got that restaurant you love and you can't get anybody to go to.
And then it makes me question shit. Do I even love Olive Garden?
Just might be the nostalgia.
It is the nostalgia.
It's the bottomless. I think that really does get me. The fact that you could have so much of that salad and breadsticks.
Oh, my daughter Kaylin's in the chat room. You know, Cannon loves Olive Garden, so he'll go anytime. He does. Loves
Okay,
it.
I love
it.
He would be so thrilled.
There you go.
Yeah,
awesome.
you
I
do
would
have
love
so
to
he'll
take
go
him.
anytime.
We'll go to El Camino while you and Cannon go to Olive Garden.
That's fine with me.
F the Olive Garden.
Yeah.
You, Virginia, is old school hating Olive Garden.
Sorry, not sorry.
Coming up here in a second, I will get you the key code that you need if you want to pump up your summer. This could be an interesting trip. I've been wanting to go to Mexico City. I've watched several shows that have Mexico City in it. And I was kind of excited because I thought that the whole fam was going to be going to Texas, to El Paso, to see my wife's family. And
The pilgrimage.
yeah, and it was supposed to be the week of 4th of July, and we're 2 weeks away, and we don't have any airline tickets or arrangements, and I guess Kim's dad hasn't mentioned it for a while, so she said today it looks like we're going to start putting alternate plans together because I don't think that's going to happen. So, but I did get this email from Tania. She said, I'm a female in my 30s, just arrived from my first solo trip to Mexico City and Merida, which is a beautiful city in the Yucatan. It was awesome. I met many solo female travelers during the tours from all ages, and I'm very impressed with the city. I felt 100% safe, safer than many cities in the U.S., actually.
Wow.
I walked to many places by myself at all hours, and I felt fine. Kevin, I recommend you and your family go to CDMX, Ciudad de Mexico, and other parts of the country. Too many people I met said Cancun is very touristy. And it's not really that authentic. I haven't been to Cancun, though, just saying. The food in CDMX and Merida was awesome. Nothing that you can taste outside of the country. Mexican cuisine is on the top cuisines, one of the top cuisines of the world. Ooh. I went there to learn about indigenous history, and it's very impressive. We as mixed people with ancestors from indigenous and Europeans should learn and value this awesome culture. I have nothing but good things to say about Mexico. People are very humble and helpful. Tickets, food, and all are very cheap also. Viva Mexico. I would definitely visit again.
Wow, that's a ringing endorsement.
It is.
She loved it that much, and she was all by herself.
Yeah. So I would love to do that. So maybe we can get a family trip to Mexico City instead.
Kind of talked me into a little Mexican food today. I'm getting real sick of pasta.
Yeah. How long are you going to be hanging with the all-pasta diet?
Taco Tuesday. What are you doing?
I think we might end that pasta diet, Kevin, on Taco Tuesday today.
Okay, today. It's done. Oh, you lost a couple of lbs
I
from it.
did. I
It's all
lost 2
good.
pounds.
Yeah, it's all good.
But you
There
just got
go.
me all ginned up. This is the way you're talking. I don't know.
Yeah, I got you. Got you going, huh?
And then someone sent me, KVJ Nationer sent me a video, and I was showing Virginia about this grilled cheese. It was food porn. They slowed it down, and they were ripping the sandwich and then dipping it real slow like.
It was
very,
food
very
porn,
sexual.
and cheesecake cupcake over here was wet.
Oh, I was
Okay.
positively dripping.
I got to tell you, Keto Kev, my one recommendation, I found it a couple different places. I got it at Rocco's Tacos, and we always go to Torero's. Molcajete. It is so good. It's kind of like fajitas, but it has an amazing sauce with it. So if you think like sometimes fajitas are great, but they're kind of dry sometimes. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like the fajita, but then you'll get a kick-ass. Both places have amazing sauce, and there's typically cheese with it too. Melted cheese. That's my one. That's what I'm recommending.
I love ordering fajitas with queso and then dipping my meat in the queso, dipping my veggies in the queso. I don't really even touch the tortilla.
Imagine that. Whispers over here gets the loudest fucking meal on the menu.
Yeah.
The sizzling fajita.
All kinds of chaos.
In the bushes.
I am a human fajita.
Oh my God. Of course you get the most
Just
obnoxious
noisy,
dish.
hot to touch.
It's the, hey, everybody look at me dish.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to move out the way when that fucking thing
Yeah,
comes
it
Oh,
does.
through.
it's such a high maintenance
Yeah.
dish. I love it. but
Everybody take notice.
Of
Look
course
out.
you get that shit.
Yeah. That pretty much sums it all up.
Everyone
right?
must smell my meat.
Look
Yep.
at me. Queen Hungary is eating.
Yep. All right, want that keyword to pump up your summer? It is GRAND, G-R-A-N-D, for today. Take it into the WRMF app. You can wind up with a 4-day, 3-night stay to the Caribe Royale in Orlando, plus getting $2,000 in cash, buying your gas for the rest of the year. Take it, enjoy, and win. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.